Yo, this is Quentin Moore chilling in the cigar lounge.
This is the Captain, Hobo King 82. Hi, guys! Yo, this is MJ from Hot Garbage Cigar Club, and you're watching Cigar Loungin Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your local hero back again. Another episode of Cigar Loungin Podcast. Here with a longtime friend and a friend of the show. Also another podcaster, Compass Rose. My man Scott. He'll do everything. He makes cigars, charity, podcast. He builds houses for midgets. He does everything. Man does everything. Y'all don't believe it? Check him out. And if y'all wonder, well, we just saw you live. You was outside. Why you in it? Well, it's about the rain, and I really didn't feel like setting up everything back on the patio. So let's go ahead. And the kids they destroyed my umbrella, man. I had an umbrella I normally record under, but the umbrella's destroyed. I got to buy me a new umbrella. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the episode, man. How you doing? What you smoking?
I'm doing really good, and actually right now I'm smoking the Last Call.
You know what? I was just smoking a one night stand a few minutes ago, so a little earlier. I got the Underground 10.
Right on.
So, but yeah. All right, so let's get into it. What have we missed since you've been on, man? What's been happening with you since the last time you've been on, man? Let's go ahead and get into that.
You're going to have to help refresh my memory because there is so much that has changed.
Okay, we know you was doing the charity, which you're going to do. Matter of fact, let's talk about the charity first. Let's get into the charity.
Okay. Well, I have a 501c nonprofit organization called the True North Foundation Incorporated, and it supports their communities, veterans' mental health, homelessness, and first responders. But that's not all. It also helps out kids with autism, with impositions, disabilities, seizure disorder, cancer, a lot of various things like that. We do work, we're teamed up with John Daly, Major Ed Heart of a Lion Foundation, that we're going to be hosting a charity golf event June 14th through the 16th. So it'll be really special.
All right. Everybody, make sure y'all pop up and support. You can DM him. He'll give you the information at the end of the show. Let y'all know how y'all get in contact with him. I'm saying, and if you can't make it, maybe you could donate. Every little bit helps, man. There's no such thing as too little.
Facts.
All right. So let's get into it, man. You got a new blend.
No, I am not. From the last person who the manufacturing and all that, then yes, if you want to consider
we ain't gonna get into all that. We're just gonna talk about the new blend.
And it's called the Onyx Edition.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. I like the new label. You got the new label, new blend. He got all that.
Right there, it's a Habano in Maduro.
Okay.
Wrappers are two different and all that. They both have Dominican and Nicaraguan filler and binder. But on the Habano, it has Ecuadorian wrapper. And the Maduro is Mexican San Andreas.
Okay.
And the factory is in Nicaragua, which my cigar maker is Tampano Cigars.
Mm-hmm.
George, which has been an outstanding experience.
Wealth of knowledge. I'm gonna get him on the show. I keep telling him to get him on the show. I'm gonna get him on the show. And let me just ask you a question, because I've seen your podcast and it is growing crazy. You got crazy guests on there. Guests that wouldn't come on the likes of this podcast because we're essentially assholes and idiots. But how do you get your people, man? How do you come up with your guests, man?
Oh God, a lot of it it's not what you know, it's who you know and the different contacts that you talk to and all that. Like I said, I'm a shareholder of Armed Forces Brewing Company, which you had the honor of meeting up with me at the one rally point. That has a lot of connections right there with Major Ed and different various things. But not only that, being a opening up a 501c nonprofit organization, but with the passion that you have to help people, that opens up a lot of doors.
It does. It does.
And I think, like, just in fact, in the cigar industry, because a lot of people think, hey, I'm just about cigars and all that. No, that's the wrong incentive. That's a plus. That's just a bonus.
Exactly.
I enjoy putting out quality products to consumers and the people out there. But most importantly, my foundation comes first and foremost on helping others.
And I'm going to give you your cigars, man. We're going to give you cigars because you actually was one of the people who spearheaded our Toys for Tots movement, man. So shout out to you and other people who were involved. Because we've all had this, everybody, like, even if we had a falling out, right? It doesn't matter. All of us had this thing where we was like, we have to give back and support the community. We can't just keep taking and taking and taking. You have to support, and that's the most important thing. The most important thing is support, getting behind people, Paul, no Diddy, pause, and pushing them to be better. That's the main thing. And I've noticed that with you, man. You always moving, you always going. I think, man, you had that same thing in our head. Like, so as we working on one thing, we're already thinking about something else. I've always had it. As I'm working on this, I'm thinking about this. This might not get done. I might push this to the side and go to that, or and then I might come back to this, and then So I think you always had. We got that same mindset. I don't know what the fuck to call it. I wouldn't call it ADHD because I'm hype. Maybe because I can be hyper focused on one thing. So I don't know. But
no, you're right.
So yeah, I think we had a thing, and it's a very good thing to have. It's helped me in my professional field. Has helped me on here being able to multitask and focus on 3 or 4 different things. Now, has that hampered you or helped you as well?
Oh, it's helped me a lot. It really has. But I just want to give a shout out to you, Kimbro, and the whole team on Cigar Lounge and Podcast. A lot of people don't realize just because they see you, view you, like whether you're in a car, outside, whatever the case may be, you're respectable. You do have a passion. You enjoy it. But not only that, on your successes, like you just went to PCA and different various aspects of that.
Yeah, I miss PCA. I was at TPE, but I do have a pass to go to PCA.
Oh, my apologies. I get it mixed up.
Daniel, though, because he the one that hit me to the game. Shout out to Daniel 505 Cigar Reviews. It's my man. Make sure y'all checked it out. He put me on game, and he got me in there. And I don't know, man. Let me ask you a question, because when I started the podcast, I just started the podcast to talk about cigars and bullshit and have fun. And now I'm meeting like higher ups in the industry. I'm meeting people who are known in the industry. It's crazy to me. How does it hit? Like, has it hit you yet? Because it hasn't hit me yet, but has it hit you yet where you're at a level and people know who you are? And when they do know who you are, is it still like a new thing to you, or what's happening there?
Actually, that is a new thing for me, because when you hit a certain level, again, I'm small time. I consider myself small time. I never imagined it to be even as remotely as big as what it is. People think, oh, it's small. Yeah, it is small. But again, that foundation, it's taken off.
Mm-hmm.
The people I've talked to, the people that are getting involved, that's backing me and supporting and all that. Just okay, let's take for instance dugout mugs.
That's a
Chris
big thing.
Bernard.
Yeah, it's not small. It's a big thing.
When you talk to different people and all that like that, it's like, wow, I'm really talking to these people.
Mm-hmm.
That you wouldn't regularly just go and talk to.
Yeah, you would think you was
Dave Blanco, Pete Johnson.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I was about to say them two, right? Yeah, those are big people. in the industry that you getting, you've been able to talk to and hang out with. So I wouldn't call you small. I wouldn't call us small. I said we're growing.
But aren't we all always growing?
You got to grow. You got to grow or die.
Well, yeah, but the main thing is we're genuine.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like Jose Blanco when he came on the other day, which I have the utmost esteem and respect for him.
Shout out to him.
Being in the industry as long as he has, so he has so much knowledge, wealth of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But he made a point to say he enjoyed my company, enjoyed the podcast because just being genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to flip one way, then turn the other way. You're the same way.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you keep it real and be faithful on what you're doing and all that, that's the key right there.
Mm-hmm.
But staying consistent at it.
Exactly. I think a lot of people think like this is not. I don't have a competition with anybody. My show is done differently than everybody else. So even if it was done the same, I'm still going to, you my man, I'm still going to support you. I'm still going to support Coco. Kim, get her stuff up. I'm going to support Kim. I still support. I like the Burn Down podcast. I watch these podcasts. So I like them. And sometimes they give me inspiration. But I realize that I'm not going to be able to do it the way y'all do it. You know what I'm saying? Because we came in under a different premise. We came in to bring cigars into the hip-hop generation. Because that's what we was born in. But as we had these conversations, and we had this conversation off camera multiple times, this thing right here brings us together. And when you're smoking this thing and you're talking to people, you realize that we have the same struggles. We all want to take care of our family. Not everybody came from money. Some people might have money, but not everybody came from money.
Mm-hmm.
We trying to help each other, push each other, man. We got a good support group. We got a good group of people that we can talk to if we need answers or need to talk to somebody. And shout out to George from Tempano, because I had a conversation with him. He fucking blew my mind. So,
he's very honest and he's very knowledgeable, especially for his age. That's why I have a lot of respect for him. He carries himself differently, which you know how different people. You pay attention to the way people carry themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that young man, he carries himself very well.
You know what? That's the city boy in us, man. Detroit and Chicago, man. We observe. Mm-hmm. And I see you. Don't think I don't see you. I see you sitting back like, oh, he watching. He observing. I see what he doing. me and Ken bro talking about that like, yeah, he observing. Yeah. You know he from the city. Look at him. He watching and see how people move. And that's just how it is, man. So that helps you stay away from the BS. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? People will fool you. And it's true. But, it really helps us stay away from a lot of the BS, and it keeps us out of a lot of the situations, man. And you getting in a couple of lounges now, man. Let us know what lounges you in.
We're in 2 shops, and now I'm working just today. Working in getting into 2 to 3 more shops.
Mm-hmm. That's good. What 2 shops are you in right now?
Pardon me?
What 2 shops are you in right now?
Park Lane Tobacconist in New York. Okay. Thanks to OG and all that, because he was a big influence on that. Did a lot of great things for it. Mm-hmm. And Black River Tobacco Company, based out of North Carolina.
Okay. Where in North Carolina?
That I forget.
I have to look him up. Now you know I ain't too far from North Carolina.
Yeah, he's a good man and all that. Does out a barbershop, working on getting his own shop and all that. Pretty much like mobile. He's a good man. Frankly, very good.
We'll talk about it after this. I got some people you talk. We talk about it after this. Yeah, man. I remember talking to Kevin from Artesia Cigars, and I asked him about this. He said the realest shit, one of the realest sayings ever. There is no money in the cigar industry unless you're relatable. Like there's money in the cigar industry, but if you're false and you're fake, and they sense that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't do it like our podcast, me and you. We don't get paid for this. We do it for the love.
Right.
We do giveaways. We pay for all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you do it for the love, and once you do it if you do something for the love, it's gonna come through.
Always. It always perseveres through everything and all that. Created a lot of great friendships, but the biggest thing is when you're able to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That there's misconceptions like when you do podcasts and all of a sudden people talk about, oh, I got 40 people or I got 30 people or 18 people and all that. I really don't care if I have just 2 people. I'd rather have a smaller group than a bigger group just so that they have my undivided attention. I'm paying attention to them because that's what I want that experience to be. So I want you to have that personal experience with me.
Yeah, I mean that's how we based our podcast off of. It's a lounge conversation, man. Quality over quantity. Everything we talk about here, you'll talk about in a lounge.
Correct.
You know, we both had these podcasts where we talk to many different people from many parts of the world. Some of them English as second language, and we've been able to communicate and vibe off of the love of the leaf.
Exactly. That's the beauty part about it is there's no shade of color, no sex, no nothing. Cigars don't care about if you have money, if you don't have money, or you're this and that. It doesn't matter what it is. If you enjoy it and you're, of course, reasonable age, then why not? Have a good time. And enjoy, because that's the biggest thing about it is enjoy the conversation.
That's my problem. Let me ask you about that. That's my problem with this age thing, because they listen to age to smoke now, and I've always had this problem. Even you're a vet. I've had this problem. At 18, you can go into the military and you can defend your country. If you're old enough to defend your country, to me, because you already know you've been around the world, it's different drinking age, whatever, and they'll allow you to do it. You know what I'm saying? You're not officially no. But they will, allow you to do it. And my thing is, if you're old enough to go and defend your nation, you're old enough to have a cigar, you're old enough to have a drink. Because you're going to do it anyway. If you're going to the military, you're going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This always been my stance. Like you got these kids going into situations where, God forbid, they may not come out of.
Right.
So why not allow them to have the experience of being able to do this? It's like, what's the word? Oh, what's the word? Oh, he's smoking cigars. Oh my goodness, what is he doing? It's not like you're doing coke or something. You know what I'm saying? You're just smoking a cigar.
You are 100% right. Me, I think it should be 18 years old. That's for smoking age. Drinking, that's a whole different topic. But no,
we know how to drink and go in the middle. You know how they go.
Yeah, but I totally understand it, and it's the same thing for first responders. If you're 18 years old, you become a firefighter. You're running into burning buildings. Well, that's smoke, right? You're going to inhale smoke. So it doesn't make sense.
As long as you ain't on duty. I get it, but on duty. Yeah.
But it's politics. That's all it is. It's politics. Mm-hmm. That's what I find myself in the worst is I don't like politics. But yet, no matter what you do in an industry or any job that you have, there's always politics.
I believe it was, I think it was Spinoza. I can't remember because I read a lot of books. I believe Spinoza who said the problem with politics is smart people want nothing to do with it and dumb people want to be involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
those are very true.
That's how I look at that. There you go. You got your political lesson for the day. No, you know what though, and when we had Kim on here for the second time, and it just we talk like how we talk when we talking. It turned into more of a conversation rather than showing. That's what I like. I like when you're coming in, you know what it's gonna be, and you just go into these conversations. So that's why y'all see me talk a lot more now than you did in the first interview, because the first interview we was introducing him. Now we just having a conversation.
Right.
And you know what? Shout out to you for having me on the show. And you had me on the show. I was at work. That was crazy because I was at work because I couldn't get out. And I'm sitting there trying to do the show, and I'm like, oh, people still coming in, you know. But that's what we deal with. And if people don't understand this, as creatives, as podcasters, you deal with that. It shows that, matter of fact, the show we did with Casa Cuervo, Ken had to take over. Ken Bro had to take over because I was still at work. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of thing we deal with. People don't understand the commitment and dedication. So when you go into a podcast, if you're going into it thinking I'm finna get famous and get free shit, you're in for the wrong thing. You gotta actually enjoy doing this stuff. Do we get free stuff? Yeah. But
Speak for yourself. I haven't gotten nothing for free.
I got some free shit. But here's the thing though, here's a twisted part of that. Whenever you send me something for free, I buy something from you.
That is true.
If you send me 2 or 3 cigars, I'm finna order a 5 or a box from you. Because I don't want you to think, oh, well, he's just here for that. No. If I enjoy it, hey, how much it costs for this? Okay, cool. I'm going to do it like that. I'm not that type of guy that just want to get in, oh, free. No. You know, Sassy sent me free shit, and I've bought more than what she sent me. You know what I'm saying?
But that's how it works. You work together.
Yeah, support.
But you can also, hey, you know, you can barter too. You're being a cigar brand or cigar brand owner and all that. You could swap out cigars. I'll send you mine. You send me yours. Then you're not really losing, but you're getting more experience.
Yeah. I just like being that. I like we had a place where people, you know, because I told you, and I got something for you. But he's like, why are you getting up? I'm like, man, I got a list of people I gotta fucking get and go around. But I like the fact that when I tell you that, you know, oh, he's gonna come around. He's gonna come around. It's gonna be a second, but he's gonna come around because I got so many people I gotta get to. I still got a bunch of people I gotta go around and get to. But if I tell you, and anybody tell you when I talk about their cigar, like, I'm gonna get it. I got it. Alan's gonna be in Chicago. This is gonna come out the week after I'm back. So it's gonna come out after I've already been to Chicago. I'm definitely gonna get some of Alan's shit if he got him there. But yeah, so I'm going back home, y'all. So that's it. But yeah, you know, it's a difference between, you know, what podcasts are there because they love it, and you know what podcasts are there to just try to get free shit. You know that. You can sense it. Same thing with cigar makers. You know who's there because they enjoy making cigars, who's just there to make money. That's how it goes.
Hey, but you know what? That's the other part about it too, is a lot of people don't realize on how much work goes into putting up a podcast. They think, oh yeah, just jump on screen and just have a conversation and all that. It's not that simple. Again, everybody has lives. They have jobs, full-time jobs. This isn't necessarily a full-time job for some.
Yeah, to me, this is it's a full-time job. Don't get me wrong, but it's more of a hobby for me because I like doing it. Like how we record right now, when the finished product is not gonna look like. If you can see how it looks when we're recording, the finished product is not gonna look like this.
Right.
Shout out to Ken, bro. He does good work on the editing, and he makes the shit look good.
He does a good job. Like I said, I'm impressed. And again, there's no status quo on who's better or who's not. We're all in this together. That's the key right there.
And there's been times where Coco will hit me up, or I'll be talking to you. I like Coco was special. Coco be like, hey, I got this person who's just on the show. You gotta have him on the show. I hit Coco up like, yo, you gotta have him on the show. I got some people for you that I'm gonna hit them up, and then you gotta have them on the show. But we exchange guests, and there's a difference. We exchange guests, and it's gonna be different interview styles. Like it's been people, and I don't want to like sound like toot my horn or anything, but there's been people who has did the podcast and who has done our guests, and it hasn't equal to what we've done because it's just not real. So like I tell the person, like I tell you, like I said, I'm gonna hit you up with some people, but I hit the people. Coco send me a motherfucking DM like, hey, this person I was just on with, you got to get him on the show. Gucci, I walk into the lounge. Shout out to Tinderbox in Waldorf. What's the box now? But shout out to them. I walk in there and my man be like, I got some people you got to get on the show. Because I got Michael King on the show. I never met Michael King. My man's like, yo, he is a rep for Aganosa. This guy right here is the truth. He knows his stuff. And he gave me the number. We got in contact. We jumped on. So it's like that. And so, let me ask you a question. Let me tell you a story. The first we outside, me and Coco was downstairs. And we walking up. We got our cigars walking upstairs in CI. And this lady stops us. She's like, I know y'all. I'm thinking she know Coco. She know me for. She's like, I look at your podcast all the time. I'm like, oh, Coco, that go a fan. She's like, no, I look at yours too. I'm like, really? Do you hear the shit that we say? But she got us a drink and everything.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, she got us a drink, and that to me, that's weird. Like it is.
It is.
I'm trying to get to that point, but that's weird to me. I'm not used to people saying, "Hey, I know you," unless I fucked up on something.
Yeah, they'll call you out on it, but that's what you were talking about earlier, is being on that different level, which you are in a sense. So, because you just experienced it, you just talked about your experience. You are on a different level. You're not at that, say, beginner stage where you're just you're just getting your feet wet, learning the ropes. Because a lot of it is just sitting back and just observing and learning and getting educated, because there's always education. There's always different ways. I take it in different strides of, I take what I want and leave the rest, like bits and pieces.
I'm glad you said that. When it comes to this podcast, how did you learn the ropes? How did you get on your route to do your podcast the way you do? And before we do this, let me preface this all by saying, I had the pleasure, and I'm mad it didn't record, but I had the pleasure of co-hosting with you on your first podcast. And
that was fun.
You were a natural. Like, for real. It's not me blowing smoke up yet. You was a natural. You did so good. I felt as though I didn't really have to ask questions, right? But how did you get on that route where, and I'm going to say this, when we started off, we knew our style. We kind of polished it. We polished it up as we went. For your first episode, and I told Kimber, I said, yo, he ready. What do you need me for? This dude, he already got it. So how did you get your, I don't want to say style because you have your own style, but how did you get your the way you're going to do your podcast and the way you're going to interview? How did you get that?
Oh, wow. It takes a minute to get your own style, because again, you absorb all the information, and again, you helped me out a lot with that, which I'm very thankful for, giving me the opportunity in that, because I didn't like talking. I was very shy, didn't like to talk, didn't know what to ask, didn't know how, because it's kind of like when you get put on a screen, it's different than just having a regular conversation. Mm-hmm. I could be having a conversation with you, but the minute that red light goes on, it's like, what? And then sometimes you forget what's going on. But again, it's a real big thing is knowing the audience. I guess the routine I got into, and the reason why I did it that way, is because not against anybody. Believe me, it's not. I'm the most comfortable with military because I know military like the back of my hand. Okay? So having the military people on and all that, it was easy because we all had something in common. So getting used to that idea to help build up, to start moving on and talking to other people. But again, it comes down to if they're going to give you an opportunity to talk to them or not. Because that doesn't always work out that way. I just like it's original. You just got to be you. You don't have to be anybody else.
Can't nobody be you but you.
And people enjoy that and the honesty that you can bring. If you talk to them like a person, they're going to respond to that.
I'm gonna say that you had it. I'm dead ass. It's not me, like trying to, suck up or anything. But I'm gonna keep it at Google. You had it. You had it, and I told Hobo, I told MJ, I told Ken, bro. I told my brother. I said, he don't need me. He has it. Like he has it. That first interview I listened, I said, yo, he got it. It's nothing I can provide for that. You already have it. It's there. Some people have it, some people don't. Some people develop it. I have the ability, for some strange reason, to relate to people. Why? I don't know. I'm an asshole. But I can relate to people.
Oh, you're not.
But you had, I would be Jerry Springer, and you would be like fucking Montel Williams or something. You'll be like that. Like you was the way you did it. I was like, yo, he got it. Like he's ahead of the curve. Like he must have done this shit before or something. I don't know what's going on, but he has it. And there's very few people you can say that about. You can say people developed it, but like, no, he got it. I heard a lot of podcasts. I was like, he ain't got it, but let's give him a little bit and see what they do. But you had it.
Well,
I'll give you that.
And thank you very much. That's it. That means a lot. But again, it comes with experience on life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
See, I had the great opportunity. Yeah, did I have to learn things the hard way? Of course, because I'm stubborn. I'm very, very stubborn. I had to learn the hard way all the way up until 5-6 years ago. To like, wow, open up your eyes, or I get hit in the head. Yeah, literally, to knock some sense into me. But again, when you go back, if you really have the passion for it and you're really trying to, you got to know how to read a room.
Very important.
And again, I use that military structure that we had because being in the military, you're an ambassador of the country. So wherever you go, if you act a fool, if you're drunk, you're all over the place, you go into different rooms and talk to people, like whether you go to an embassy party, you could talk to big people, you could talk to small people. There might be kids. I'm a sailor. I can swear like a sailor. But again, it's adapting to your surrounding, knowing who you're talking to.
Let me ask you this: as a brand ambassador, and I ask everybody this: as a brand ambassador, as a brand owner, I'm sorry, how do you pick your brand ambassadors?
Hey, I'm still learning that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it comes down to, now I only speak for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% dedicated in what I'm doing. I have a lot of mental health issues. My wife has health issues. So my brain is all over the place. But the one thing that I do know is I've learned a lot of hard things throughout my life, and I try to share the experiences with different people through my negative lifestyle that I had, to be positive. So helping somebody else, a person doesn't have the same vision as you do. Just like a cigar, when you're smoking it, you don't have the same palate. Everybody is different,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So my vision is I have to pick someone who has the same desire and passion that I do. If they don't fit that criteria, that's why I do everything myself first. Just like, hey, I'm a union electrician. I did everything. Start from the ground up and build a reputation. I'm building that foundation So if I could do it, I'm not going to ask anybody else to do something that I have not done already.
Mhm.
And I want it to be a family. Like if you purchase a cigar from me, you're part of the family. It means something. I don't want you to just be smoking a cigar just to smoke a cigar. I'm not doing it to make a quick buck off of you. I want you to have a good time and ask questions about it. Why do you like it? And why do you not like it if you don't?
Tell me about cigars. What are you, without giving too much away, what are you cooking up, man? I know you got something else coming out. What are you cooking up on a cigar tip?
God, I actually got quite a bit coming. But again, it's one of those things I had to learn patience and slow down. Because with my mind, with the mental disabilities and various things of that nature, I have to slow down and take your time and really, really get something down solid. Like this first line with the two different types of cigars, people ask me, why don't you have any more? Because I don't want to put a whole bunch out. Because then I lose the consistency of that first one. Because sometimes you lose sight of that. You start neglecting that first one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that quality is not there the way you had it when you first started it. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to. It's taken a while, absolutely, due to negative reasons. But let me tell you, I'm here to stay. The Compass Rose is here to stay, and it's gonna be here.
The thing is, like back in the day, I used to make music and everything. You don't want to cut your feet off. If you gain traction on something, you want to let that ride out, and then you come behind it with something. But you don't want to. Okay, I'm dropping this month, 3 months you drop that, because then you're gonna lose traction on the first thing. You always got to gain traction. I told Mark that Select Draw, shout out to him, and his business partner told him that he has the same type of mentality where he's like, oh man, I got these ideas. Yeah, but slow up, do this first, promote this, and then you can go to this or that or this or that. Like don't chop your feet off.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Is I don't care if it takes 2-3 years to get this down back to where it's right where I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can focus on a different one.
Mm.
And then so on. But I want to build up that time because it's about building a legacy.
Exactly.
You don't just get it over time. Like if you look at, I'm a huge sports fanatic. I am. Sometimes it takes years to progress into something great.
Mm-hmm.
Some naturally have it, but some don't. But it takes time to mature and to help, grow when you're in the right team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, hard work beat talent.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing is growing. I had to take away from the very beginning, but it's not a negative because I twist it around and I try to turn all the negatives into something positive. What did I learn from that? What not to do? How not to open up in certain areas? Okay, those are, work on your weak spots because it helps you grow.
That's like it's going to sports. It's like we take the Jordan and LeBron conversation. LeBron is talented as fuck. I don't think he's gonna be the GOAT. As talented as Mike was, it was a lot of hard work put behind that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying LeBron doesn't work, but I'm saying that Mike was the same dude who got cut from his high school team. Like it was hard work that went into that to make him who he was. Same thing with Kobe. Kobe came out of high school. Kobe put in hard work to get that type of mentality. Shaq was a very dominant player. Shaq didn't have to work that hard. Shaq is one of the most dominant centers in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
He's not mentioned in the GOAT conversation.
Right.
As good as he was, as dominating as he was, he's not mentioned in the GOAT conversation. Mike, Kobe, and LeBron are mentioned in that conversation. So it goes with that. Even with Wilt, as talented as Wilt was, he was naturally talented. But he lost to Bill Russell because Bill Russell put in work.
Mm-hmm. Just look at Walter Payton. You look at football. You look at hockey. I mean, all of them.
Walter Payton was out there fucking the offseason. I remember watching videos of this dude. He was running up fucking hills. We ain't got hills in Chicago. That was like a half a mountain that he's running up the motherfuckers every summer.
Well, and that's why I really respect, because, yeah, I did a lot of time growing up and working in Detroit. So I always watched, my idol is Walter.
Sanders was a hard worker too.
Barry Sanders. I was just about to say.
Yeah, because Bo Jackson was naturally good, but Bo Jackson is not mentioned in the greats. Even despite the injury, Bo Jackson, that came from natural ability. He said it himself. I didn't lift weights and do all this. Walter Payton and Barry Sanders worked every offseason.
Every day they put in work
to get better. Now, while Bo Jackson is a stronger runner, he's definitely, the 40, if you look at the 40 time, he's definitely faster than those guys. Mm-hmm. But he didn't have that impact. Despite the injury, we can take the injury out of it. He didn't have that impact because these guys worked.
Oh, yeah, they were workhorses. But again, Bo Jackson is another great and all that, because not only was he great in football, but he also played baseball, and he was good at it. Then you have Michael Jordan that did the same thing after that.
Jordan, and I played baseball. If you don't play baseball, you don't understand it. Jordan batting average, he was at what, 300, 305, 30%. You got to think about it. You going and he played basketball, and he's going against these pitchers who's going to go into the major league. Mm-hmm. To hit 305 on a motherfucker, you haven't played baseball since high school, that's an achievement.
It is. That's the same thing with Bo Jackson. They came in there swinging. They were great.
Your ass out there right now. I tell you what, Randy Johnson haven't played baseball. He haven't thrown a baseball. I don't know how long. Take your ass out there and try to hit a ball from Randy Johnson or Nolan Ryan. And they old. Let them throw a pitch at you and you try to hit it. And you'll see how hard that shit is.
But again, like you said, it takes work.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm trying to do, is because in the cigar industry, it's about the generations. I want it to be family grown, brought up the right way. But that's the thing. I'm not trying to rush the process because I don't want to make a mistake down the road. I want to fix it while it's still young and help it mature and kind of like point it in the right direction.
Oh, let me ask you this question. Because I think right now, to me, I'm asking this question after this statement. I think right now, of course, we're going through the second boom. Everybody I talked to said this is second boom. But I think right now, a lot of the boutique and mid-sized brands are getting a lot of love, and they're starting to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that for you, this is the best time, or anybody, let's just say anybody, do you think this is the best time to try to produce a boutique brand, or is it getting oversaturated?
Oh, that's a really good question. Because I think it'd be oversaturated, to be honest with you, because it takes time. When you're coming out with something, again, mine's not even completely out there. It took a while to get it in there. But when you have everybody that's doing it, again, it's kind of like let's say a trade, right? I'm an electrician, plumbers, and all that. Hey, if anybody can do it, then they wouldn't need a professional electrician, German electrician. Yeah. I mean, it's the same kind of concept right there. But now we're having it's not a bad thing that people are doing it, but just make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Because the industry will eat you up. It will see. They'll end up shutting you down. They're going to realize it.
And going to that, because I'm in the trade too. I had people where they was coming to get work done. And while I watched YouTube, all I had to do was this, and all I had to do, if all you had to do is that, then why ain't you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
If you think it's that simple, the people you watch on YouTube, let me put this in your head. The people you watch on YouTube that's doing fix it or building themselves shit, they've been doing this for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years.
Yep.
So to them, it's easy because they can do it with their eyes closed. This shit, I do shit with my eyes closed. Right?
Absolutely. That's how we do it. But again,
you can't.
You didn't get that overnight.
Yeah.
You didn't.
They think, oh, well, he can do it. I can do it. You can't. You never done it.
Right. It doesn't. It's not like that. And I look at it in a different aspect too. Is over the years, if you look back in history, your biggest business deals normally typically happen in a bar, smoking a cigar, or drinking a cocktail of whatever the choice is. That's always been the main goal. Everybody, that's when you talk business, but you casually do it.
Exactly.
And you learn. Because if you have a beer company, say Budweiser, right? It's not saying this is directly. You sit down at the table with Bud Light. They're not going to sit there and talk about beer the whole time. They're not going to. They're going to be talking about other things. That's the same thing with the cigars. They are coming in to learn what tips, what works for you, and it's kind of that mentality: take what you want, leave the rest. Take what works for you.
Exactly, and that's why I think that's how me and your podcast kind of groove with that. Yes, I have people on. We could talk about cigars the whole hour, but the casual smoker or normal people, we want to hear other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I want to know how you got a cigar. What you got? Yeah, who are you? You're selling. That's the thing. Like a lot of people don't understand it with sales. You're not selling the product. You're selling yourself.
Right. You are.
Find who you are, and then from that we can go ahead and go on and do something. But if you're just sitting there like, oh yeah, well, this is like this and this is like that, and this, we not to mention no names. We've had this conversation. It's people who only associate with one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you're trying to talk about the whole industry.
You can't do it.
You can't do it. It's like, okay.
It's impossible.
I mean, an engine is an engine, right? But if you work for GM, you can't talk about Jaguar to me, or you can't talk about Lamborghini to me. Because you know that one specific thing.
Right.
An engine is an engine, but there's a lot of intricate parts of that separates shit from, things from things. That's how I always look at it. So, like, if you sit there and say, well, yeah, this, that, and this, and that, but I only choose to associate with this. Well, you can't give me an honest opinion because now you're biased to that particular product.
Exactly. And that's basically, you just summed up what politics are.
True.
That's all it is. When you're in a party or whatever, that's all they're focused on. That's their main focus.
I think about that, but
how
you're
can
right.
How can you talk about anything else if you haven't experienced it or you haven't done it? You haven't learned about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the things that, again, it's the major things is you have to build it yourself. But and also have faith in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. If you're going to sell something, you have to believe in your product.
Well, because people will pick that up if you don't know or you don't believe in it, or you get the stuttering or fumbling over stuff. Oh no, I'm not dealing with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's brand ambassadors. I'm glad you don't have these brand ambassadors. But it's brand ambassadors out there that don't know about the product, and they're trying to sell the product to people, and they don't know anything. I'm asking you, okay, leaf filler binder, where's it from? I don't know, but it's a Maduro. Okay, but from where? What's the leaf filling binder? What's the leaf filling binder from? What factory? I don't get too detailed into the factory and everything, but I do want to know where the filler, leaf, and binder come from.
Those are the three basic things, and that's understandable. But then when people say they get all hush hush, again, I'm one of those. I'm going to be perfectly blunt with you. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I don't care if they like me, if they hate me, or whatever. I'm not in here for a freaking popularity contest. I can give two shits about a popularity contest. You may not like me, you may not like what I'm about or anything like that, but you know what? You should respect me.
I haters.
Respect you, you respect me.
I haters. Yeah, definitely.
That's just true facts.
I mean,
because
people, that's the thing. Everybody is not. If everybody like you, you're not real enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the bottom line. And like I anytime I have a cigar, I'm gonna let you know it's good, it's not good, woo this, woo that. We had opinions about big brand cigars. I'm like, nah, that's too light for me, for my palate. I don't like this, I don't like that. We had these conversations. There's a lot of cigars who've been hyped, and I've tried it, and I'm like, I'm gonna say, fuck it, we gonna go out. I'm gonna say the Almec. A lot of people put the Almec on their list. To me, the Almec doesn't go on my list. The Almec is, to me, is overhyped and overpriced. If the Almec was about $10 to $12, that'd be a great cigar for me. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's as good as people try to predict it to be. I've had the they're gonna get mad at me. I've had the Lost City. What the fuck is it saying? Cigareros, whatever the fuck it is.
Cigarillos or whatever, the smaller one.
And that's a good cigar. Don't get me wrong. That's a good cigar. Mm-hmm. It's not a $25, $30 one for me. It's not.
And that's okay.
But it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's good. It's just not. It's just, to me, it's just not. It's not in that price range. There's my thing. When I judge cigars with our list, when we come out, we're not only judging the construction, the smoke output, the flavor. We're judging the price range as well. Is this cigar worth what they charge it for?
Well, yeah, that's a huge thing. Is the price points on? Is that really worth it? Like me, I can't see myself paying a lot of money for a cigar because, again, it is a cigar. Okay, it's a leaf that grows from the ground. No matter who makes it, who does it, it's still, at the end of the day, it's a cigar.
Well, we've had
pure and freaking simple. There's so many ways that you can do it and tweak it. Whether you put colorful designs on it or whatnot.
I will say
it's still the same thing.
Shout out to you because you put me on the Byron.
That's a phenomenal freaking cigar.
Who hasn't had a Byron? Get the Byron. It's worth the price. I'm telling you, it's definitely worth the price. I'm like, God damn, $35? And I smoked, I was like, oh, okay, I see. And it ranged from like $30 to like $50. I smoked $35 when I said, okay, I can see that. Because it's not about price, it's about quality. And I was like, oh yeah, this definitely this is that. This is in that category. This is well worth it.
But see, that's kind of like the same philosophy as where I'm having it. Because again, this is a learning experience for me. Mm-hmm. And doing it the right ways on how to educate yourself. Now, we just said it, the Byron. It's an amazing cigar. A lot of questions say, why isn't it on the top 10 for Cigar Aficionado or anything like that? They are pretty much
top 25. We don't care.
But they're exclusive to certain places. That's what I want to be. It's not
let's
about
be honest.
being anywhere else. I don't have to be around the world or anything like that. But the point is what you said, the quality and how good it is. That's your reputation. That's what I'm seeking right there. So when you pick up one of my cigars and you try it, say, man, this is a really, really good cigar. It really honestly is.
Mm-hmm. But let's be
I
honest.
can take the labels off of it and don't matter as long as it's good.
When it comes to me, this is why we did this show, because we anti-cigar aficionado. No disrespect to cigar aficionado. To me, it was a lot of cigars. This is why we did the top 25. Because last year they had some cigars on there. We didn't. We was like, nah. But they have cigars on there. We like, that shouldn't be on the list. How'd they get on the list? You got to look at who advertised in that magazine, and you be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, our list is unbiased, unpaid for.
Mm-hmm.
Unpaid for. We have dudes who we like, man, cornball shit. They doing cornball shit. But they make the list. Because we don't judge off of personal shit. We like, yo, that guy, despite the fact they doing cornball and weirdo shit, that's a good cigar.
It is what it is. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck, right?
Yeah, we ain't gonna name them people, but we had say we like, that's a fucking weirdo, but we can't deny that cigar. That's a good cigar.
But that's all about learning and the consistency and being good at it, and finding that right manufacturer. That's important. And a huge shout out to the people that in the factories who make it, because they do it day in and day out. It's a thankless job, but that's what they do for a living to provide for their families.
They don't get a lot of respect. They don't get a lot of credit and respect either.
And they should. I give the factory that does mine and all over the place a huge shout out, because you know what? We're just a face. Mm-hmm. We're just a face on it. Those people's hands that go in doing it day in and day out to create that great cigar, those are the true. They should be at the face of it.
I definitely should.
That's the background.
They definitely don't get enough credit. That's the crazy part. They don't get enough credit. And I'll be like, yo, we gotta start giving more credit to the rollers and the blenders and all these people in the factory, because you gotta think they pass up on a lot of opportunities to do what they do because they're not, you know what I'm saying? They miss out on a lot of family shit. They're not.
Yes, they do.
They're not. What's sort of? They're not respected enough. Mm-hmm. I think we gotta have a national factory day.
Why not? I mean, who goes to stop?
A day where we respect the factories that produce the cigars.
That would be great for the cigar community, to give them a shout out in the respect. That's
yeah. You know what? We're gonna come together. We're gonna come together. We're gonna talk to people. We're gonna create a factory day, a day where we just fucking pay homage to the factories. Because you know, you got, like you saying, you produce a good one. Okay, cool. But we need a day where we sit there and say, you do your thing, okay, and you decide on the blend, but let's give our props to the people who create the blend, the people who bunch, the people who roll. Because there's a lot of people who bunch and don't know how to roll. There's a lot of people who roll don't know how to bunch. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who getting credit as being as blenders, and they never blended anything. That's the thing.
Right. But I think
we gotta do that where we just respect the factories. The factories need their respect.
But we don't do that enough. But
because where are we as cigar smokers? Let's forget the fact that you're a brand owner, right? Let's get back to the essence. Where are we as cigar smokers if there's no factories?
We wouldn't have nothing. It wouldn't be a whole it wouldn't be a whole bunch of cigars, I'll tell you that much. It'd be slow moving because people rolling it.
Exactly.
It's going to take a while. So yeah, that should be put in there in the cigar community.
I'm glad you said that too.
But it's the truth though. But those are the things that I look at is pick up.
I'm glad you said that because we do need that. Oh shit! Look who that is. It's Ken, bro.
What's up, Kembro? How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm doing outstanding, man. Having a good conversation. Just came up with something.
Yeah, I was listening backstage.
Oh, okay. You have a good day?
It was all right. Could have been better.
We was talking about how we got to give more respect to the factories that make these cigars that we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And the farmers too. Let's give respect to the farmers as well.
Well, it goes to all of them. The ones who, it's like when you
they missing a lot of credit. We see him, we smoking, we say, you smoke a Fuente or whatever, you be like, oh, damn, this is a good cigar. Yo, Fuente, man, he did this, he did that. And we forget the fact that he had bunchers, rollers, blenders, farmers. He had all these people who did this. No disrespect to Fuente. Shout out to Fuente. But we miss out on all the people who put their hands on it, pause, and made it to what we enjoy.
And staying consistent at it.
That part.
Because that's not easy.
Consistency is key. We had a lot of cigars that they miss, and you could tell if you're a cigar smoker, you could tell. You be like, yo, this ain't the same as the last blend.
But those are the things that it's like when you look at an assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
They were vehicles. People love the Denali, the Cadillacs, and all that other stuff. GM, Ford, whatever the case may be. Yeah, they look at just the CEO. They look at the faces and all that. But nobody gives the credit to the people that are on the assembly lines who are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it to create that.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes when they talk about anything.
Exactly.
Talking about cigars, all that type of stuff.
Take hands with your mechanics, because when they went on the strike, that didn't affect us at all. We still had to try to find parts for you people. When they get a raise, we don't get a raise. That's crazy.
It's wild.
So if the factory get a raise, the techs and everybody, we don't get a raise. We still pay what we paid.
Hmm?
Yeah. When they get a raise, when they went on that strike, because I had people that were trying to get engines and transmissions. When they went on that strike, right? GM said, okay, we're going to give y'all money. They just talking about the factory. We don't get anything from that.
No kickbacks, no nothing.
Sound like you need to strike.
Nothing.
Go on strike.
We don't have a union. I said we gotta have a union. We gotta do something about that. We don't have a union. It's just them.
But that's the same way that it should be in the cigar industry, kind of like a union or a structure, a set structure that people pay attention to.
You say that until the union dudes hit your check.
But I never said that.
I don't get
you know
what? No, there's no union dude. There's no union dude coming on my check.
I did it for 20-something years, those union dues. But you know what? Those represent my business, my BAs, the business agents. They had my back. They fought for it.
It all depends on your union, because
we don't get union dudes.
The union I was in at UIC, it wasn't that great.
It all depends. That's a big thing. But in the trades, the unions are strong.
So we don't, even though I'm in the trade, we don't have unions. That's the tripped out part. So there's nobody representing us but us.
Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing with the cigar brand owner or anybody or a podcaster or anything like that. You're representing yourself. You were out there basically as
but you know what I had? What I had in mind, I talked to a lot of other people. And I talked to a lot of people that run podcasts, but we need to have this. We need to have just a podcast event where all the podcasters come together and people could come out and meet the podcasters. That's my idea.
That's
You
cool.
come out and all the cigar podcasters are there, big or small. We put some for mobile lounge for brand ambassadors. We got to work on that. We got because I think, you know what I'm saying, we got to get that together.
That has to work.
That's my whole thing. I was like, yo, we all do podcasts. We should have a cigar because everybody else has it. When you look at fucking what you look at the Comic-Con, all those podcasters get together. I'm like, yo, we gotta have one. We got all these cigar events, but the podcasters aren't together vibing and getting together and doing interviews. I think we gotta do that where we have a podcast type of event.
That would be that's really good right there. That would be interesting. That would be a lot of fun. But again, people and also
we're not, like I said again, we're not in competition with each other.
Well, you kind of are and all that, but that's the difference though. It's oh God, how do you say it? It's friendly competition. You know, competition is good because it keeps you sharp, it keeps you on your toes. But when you're not trying to be negative and down somebody, that's when it gets out of control.
We are in a space where we're creating a wave and we're learning as we go, but there's no space for what we do.
Nope,
and we
but
got
there's
some
a lot
guys,
of
and shout out to Stay Smoky TV. Shout out to Stay Smoky TV. Stay Smoky TV is getting to the realm that we in. Shout out to them. My man's from Baltimore. I had cigars, but I fuck with them. They're on their thing. But in our realm, there's not a lot of hip-hop cigar podcasts. There's a lot of dudes who do, you know how it is, the suit and the tie, and he's very serious. There's not a lot of guys in our realm.
Relaxed, having a good time.
I mean, when you create such a niche podcast, you kind of expect to not have any kind of, well, I wouldn't say support, like I guess mentorship, because, you know, it's a new thing you're doing. So it's kind of like you can get some support in general as far as to run a podcast, but like how to run the type of podcast that you're running is still something you still have to kind of work your way through.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing is you said it right there, Kenro, mentors. We don't have any mentors that are able to just teach people how to do the podcast.
That's because you got too many people on YouTube, you know, thinking subscriber count is everything. You know, oh, I can't talk to this person. You only got 2,000 subscribers.
It makes it limited. You're right.
So, you know, once people get over themselves, you know, and kind of understand, like, hey, you was in the same position that this motherfucker was in. Why not help a motherfucker grow? Like
That's always up. We'll talk to y'all.
Like the manosphere, the black manosphere sector of YouTube. O'Shea Duke Jackson, he fucks with everybody. He don't care what your subscriber count is. Some people that he started fucking with and mentoring, channels blew up bigger than his. But he don't really care. He don't even care. That you know, he just saw that, you know,
that's the thing.
You know, this motherfucker going somewhere. Let me put him on my show in front of my audience and then let him go. Let him cook.
Mm-hmm. But that's how, like, if you look at DJ.
We have it in our head, it's established where we know if you put somebody on, it's not reciprocated. We don't care. We don't really care. Cream rises to the top.
So they say.
Yeah.
But it's about experiences and learning your own and making your own way. Make your own name. Don't try to follow in somebody else's shadow. Just do you. That's what works.
Yep. That's all you can do is be you.
Exactly. And again, shout out to you guys because you guys are doing a great job. But it doesn't matter if it takes you 2 years, 5 years, or whatever. But when you look back, like I sit here, I had a conversation with my wife earlier, and you look back, it's like I never thought possible I would be in the situation that I'm in, having the conversations that I do with people. I didn't plan that.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. But then the biggest thing is when you look down, just like being in the military, when you self-evaluate yourself, why am I doing the things that I do? Number one, it's for a country that I love. And the second of all, to protect people.
Mm-hmm.
To give them the freedoms to smoke cigars, to go on and have podcasts, to do those things.
To stand or sit for the national anthem.
Yeah, amen to that.
All right, so Scott, let me ask you this last question before we get up out of here. Let me ask you this last question before we get up out of here. If you could tell yourself with the knowledge that you know, if you could tell yourself with the knowledge that you know, let's say you can go back, right? You know everything you know now. What advice would you give to yourself starting a podcast?
Watch out for shady people. I mean, because there's people,
not me.
There's people that take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
They prey upon that. It's kind of like a predator and prey kind of situation. When you put yourself vulnerable, just thinking when you're coming into an industry that sometimes it's cutthroat, that people are out to, because they feel threatened by you. That's what normally what it happens. Just in any industry, like the electrical industry or anything like that. I had old timers that started getting really bad, or nasty or something like that. It's because they started feeling threatened. Like, hey, you might end up taking my job. But that's not the case. We're all working together. The goal, getting the job done. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But there are going to be people out there that don't want to see you succeed. But the biggest thing that I can say to myself is the learning lessons that I had to go through. Some of it was unnecessary, but in my eyes, it was necessary to get me to where I need to be today. It made me a better person, because you know what? That's the biggest advice that I would give somebody. It's kind of like a sink or swim and all that. How do you, in any adversity, because that's the real true test right there. It really is. Because like you look at it in the military and it's 100%, it's been tested 1,000 million times, okay? You can train day in and day out. But until you go out on the battlefield and really do something, that's what makes you right there. How do you bounce back? If someone gets hurt or something like that, how do you react? How do you come back from that? Do you quit? Do you fold? Do you whine about it? Same thing like me. Did I go through a lot of adversity? You're damn straight I did. But I'm still here.
Still standing and still strong.
Still standing. And I'm going to get only stronger. But that's the type of attitude. Fuck the dumb shit. You know, life's not perfect. Sometimes it's tough. Pick yourself up, pull your big boy pants on or your big girl pants up, and just get back to grinding.
Everything's not going to be handed to you.
Amen to that. But that's the honest truth right there. Straightforward.
That's true. All right, Scott. So let the people know where they can get at you, where they get your cigars, where they get your podcast. Hit them up.
Oh, man. You can go to www.thecompassrosetruenorth.com. That's the website for the Compass Rose and a lot of merchandise that I have, which it's for veterans too, because a portion does go to that. That's where you get the cigars. Now, if you need to pay for the cigars because Squarespace wants to be a crybaby about it, Venmo me, PayPal, or whatever you need to do. Let me know. Take care of it. But as far as the mugs or anything else like that, you can definitely utilize it. Now, if you want to be a part of the podcast or beyond the podcast, it's the True North podcast. Pretty straightforward. Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock Eastern time. And if you want to be a part of the foundation, my 501c nonprofit organization, it's called the True North Foundation Incorporated. And that strictly supports our communities, veterans' mental health, homelessness, and first responders.
We have it, y'all. Get the dick out your throat and go do something.
Wow.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, man. It's always been great. As always.
It's always a pleasure.
I'm your local hero. Reminding you to blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman and gentlewoman. Peace.
What's up, everybody? It's your local hero. Thank you for watching the video. I want you to like, share, subscribe. Catch us on YouTube, right here on YouTube. Make sure you catch us on YouTube. I want you to catch us on Facebook, Cigar Loungin Podcast, Rumble, Cigar Loungin Podcast, Spotify, Cigar Loungin Podcast, Anchor FM, Cigar Loungin Podcast, TikTok, Cigar Loungin Podcast. I want you to catch us on IG. You can catch us under the Gentleman or Cigar Loungin Podcast. Either one of those works. So go ahead. Thank you guys for liking the video. I hope you liked the video. And follow us on all our social media sites. We everywhere you get your shit from.